Hello everyone, my name is Saeed Jafari. I'm an IAU OAE team chair and a NAIC for Iran and a teaching and research associate of linguistics and cognitive science at the University of Kurdistan. And today I'll be talking about why astronomy education research is important and how its results help in formal astronomy education setting. What I want to do is talk about some important considerations that you should think about as you embark on astronomy education research in a school and classroom. So let me start by why astronomy education research is important. A theory or research stands as a foundation for teachers' experiences, teaching and learning methods and approaches, as well as pedagogy. There are a lot of noticeable statistics and number for methods, approaches, and challenges of astronomy education, from standards or curriculums and instruction to tools, resources, and practice in astronomy education. At the moment, more than 7,000 languages exist in the world. The variety of notion, cultures, and heritage is so broad that every science educator in any district present different and novel experiences and challenges to teach astronomy concerning their culture and heritage. Astronomy, if properly taught, can promote rational thinking. An understanding of the nature of science through example drawn from the history of science and from present issues such as pseudoscience. And AER is a bridge for building this connection. So why should a teacher and a school pay attention to AER in the classroom and school? If we look at most of these schools, I see that most do not have an astronomy education researcher or a consultant in the role of science education. Therefore, many teachers are not familiar with teaching concepts, principles, and skills of astronomy education research, or they don't know how to conduct them in their classes in order to assess students. Linguistics and cultural diversity is one of the most important goals that we should pay attention to. Each language has its own way of seeing the world, and being culturally aware is crucial because it might help teacher understand how a student background plays an important role in forming in their own personality. If you want to examine the challenges, problems, and strengths and weaknesses of teaching and learning more deeply, we must look at education from the lens of astronomy education research. So interaction with astronomy education researchers is a bridge that make the learning path easier for teachers and schools in different settings. One of the most popular questions is how can teachers apply AER data in their classrooms? The most essential factor that can help us know the students and understand them better is to collect their data and examine every class's data or the school environment. Collecting data from several different views of the same situation allows you to explore your challenges in teaching and learning throughout the school. Think about tools for doing your research or collecting your data. You could do interview, surveys, you could do action research, case studies, and student work and so on. These kind of tools help you to have a detailed analysis of everything. You can combine them to get your data, or you want to do it separately. It varies actually. Such experiment can be either qualitative and quantitative. AER tries to open how much students of different social stratification and social class show interest and motivation for learning scientific topics. It is important to know ideas and results of the research done by AER society in different formal settings. It can also present through provoking numbers and statistics from formal teachers community as well as education government body. So if we look at deeper, how much does AER affect curriculum planning with respect to scientific thinking and problem-solving research? If we wanted to look at the number of teachers in the world, a great number of science educators in the world consists of physics and astronomy educators. Their experiences and lessons learned in terms of where they teach are one of the richest pieces of research evidence. Well, in education, something like curriculum planning, it's an important process at the school and classroom levels. It's actually concerned with making decision about what to learn and why. So context tells you how to redesign environment regarding our facts from research or students' data. If you look at the world around us, we see that today's students need scientific thinking more than ever. So AUR can estimate how many students have been influenced by misunderstandings, misconceptions, superstitions, according to the intellectual background of their culture and social, political, cultural situations. The other skill is problem solving. I would say astronomy education research as a tool can estimate social and situational awareness through hands-on activities. They learn teamwork and somehow learn to be curious and resourceful from childhood by humility. One of the crucial things in education is significant of interdisciplinary fields. It is important that teachers acquire knowledge and science in this kind of fields such as cognitive psychology, psycholinguistics, cognitive science, educational neuroscience, and educational technology as a part of their teaching methods and analysis of student learning. Each of these fields gives an effective and valid insight and approach to teachers and school administrators, and in general, the structure of formal education in teaching and learning. In cognitive psychology, for example, this field can help you remember names, concepts, and much more, and they have powerful rules to play in classroom. Cognitive psychologists say how a student perceive, learn, attend to, and remember information, and build teaching and learning and strategies that can be tested using the scientific method. My favorite area, which is psycholinguistics, this area looks deeply into linguistic abilities, disorders, performance, competence, and diversity of each student. Actually, this knowledge will help the teacher to reduce intrinsic and extrinsic difficulties. From another side, to help future teachers understand how a student learns best, neuroscience can help them manage student behavior. A student often, behave poorly because of stress. So neuroscientists have studied how stress affects the brain, and their findings can help teachers better understand a student's behavior. And the last one is about cognitive and social processes, or magic abilities. Becoming a professional, experienced, and knowledgeable teacher is really difficult and hardworking, I think. We can't expect that teachers like doctor can investigate the student's behavior and actions exactly. Like sociologists are able to analyze and assess the social class and differences among students. But it is possible to do such attitudes and approaches in the class and at the school through learning using knowledge and techniques. When we look at the social processes, and you can actually see how students' social role will be in the future society, and how you can, as a teacher, explain a meaningful and respectful life, specifically a peaceful view of the world. On the other side, since physics and astronomy subjects are abstract, processes such as thinking, remembering, problem solving, speaking, and imaging will be more straightforward and more understandable for the students, considering their intelligence level or having disabilities and disorders in learning issues. And I conclude this talk in solidarity to millions of women in Iran, my country, who has to fight for their freedom. Thank you for your attention.